Well, school districts are preparing for students to return to the classroom for the first time in months since the COVID-19 pandemic began. And many families want to know how the largest school district in the state is gearing up. This is Superintendent Dr. Jared Cleveland's first year with the Springdale School District, starting his job less than 2 weeks ago. He joins us live now on Zoom. Doctor, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. It's always good to get to see my friends on Channel 5 that I watch every day.
Well, thanks for being here. Today, we learned some big news right along with you in the last 90 minutes or so about the school year in Arkansas being delayed by at least 11 days. How is the Springdale School District going to cope with that news, and what will it mean for students and families going forward?
Well, right now we're processing. We want to make sure that we do the right thing by our staff and our students. And before, we had a pretty good plan to start on the 13th. We think that plan is still relevant and ready to go. From this point forward, though, now we're going to focus on making sure that we have everything that our staff needs in order to start, whether it's face-to-face or the blended opportunity or full virtual through via DTSOI. So we're working on those things and working on those plans. We're getting teachers back in, administrators back in the middle of July. So we'll be ready. And we're excited to have our students back. We're excited to see our teachers and our administrators come back as well.
I'm guessing this is not how you expected the first couple of weeks of being a superintendent to go, right?
Well, I've done this for a long time, and fortunately, I've been in Springdale for the last 7 years. Dr. Rollins used to say, only these kinds of things can happen in Springdale. Now I think we could say, well, only these kinds of things happen in Arkansas. So we're able to roll with the punches, if you will. Our main goal is to take care of our kids and our staff and our community and provide a great, excellent product. Springdale has a history of excellence. We want to continue that history.
And in conjunction with the pandemic and kind of dealing with those changes that happen probably on a daily basis as we move forward, what are going to be your biggest priorities for the upcoming school year?
Well, obviously, student and staff safety is our number one priority. You really can't have any kind of an educational process that's of any quality without those major rocks that you can stand on, solid ground of staff safety. So right now we're looking at making sure that we follow through with all of our PPE that's going to be necessary for our staff, potentially with students, and also making sure our buses and our schools are clean and creating a new custodial circuit, if you will, to make sure everything has been sanitized at the highest level.
Well, Dr. Cleveland, thank you so much. We have a lot more specific questions for you coming up here after the break. Before, though, let's check in with Garrett for a look at your forecast. We are joined again by Superintendent of Springdale Schools, Dr. Jared Cleveland, discussing the impact of COVID-19 on the upcoming school year. Doctor, let's start with masks. How will you be handling masks and regulating who wears them?
Well, we've already begun with having some personal protective equipment with our custodial staff and maintenance staff as they've worked throughout the year. But as school starts, we'll be asking our teachers and all of our staff to have some sort of a face covering. And we're providing them the opportunity to select some of that on their own, depending on their choice and what's comfortable for them. But as of today, we'll be asking our kids to wear what we call gaiters or buffs, if you will. I'd put this on, but I'm not real sure how that might work on live TV. But what it does is it comes over the top and you're able to pull it up in front of your face. And it's real easy and easygoing. Our school board will take up the measure to see if policy will actually be changed to require masks for students on Tuesday. We have a meeting on Tuesday. So we're looking forward to that. Our overwhelming desire is for all of our children and our staff to feel safe and for the parents to feel comfortable when their children return to school. But right now, the COVID-19 virus is really impacting older adults. And if you look around our district, we have a lot of our employees who are in their in their senior years, if you will. We're very concerned, and we want to make sure that our staff is completely safe as best they can anyway. We're also allowing some of them, if they'd like to take a year off, what we call it a leave, they're able to do that if they're anxious enough and need that kind of peace of mind.
And that will be afforded to them without an impact on their future job security?
Absolutely. The way our leave works is you're able to take a year off. It's basically like everything's put on hold. You're not paid and benefits and all of that are frozen, but they'll have an opportunity to return to work if they choose to the following year.
Definitely good news for staff members. I want to go back to the mask quickly. You mentioned that reusable face covering. It looks like it's washable. Yes. How will you help students keep up with, one, wearing masks properly, but then also keeping them clean? Because, of course, as they breathe out, those reusable face coverings take in their germs. How do you make sure that they all keep them clean?
Well, we're going to try to provide them with plenty. Arkansas Children's Hospital has already offered to provide at least 2 per child. And, of course, we have 23,000 kids in the district. That's a great thing, but they can be washed at home in the evening. We also have an opportunity. We have our own laundry for the district, so we can also launder them for them if they need to.
Great.
But, you have to not touch your face.
Right. Absolutely. Let's talk about this. Springdale obviously housing a lot of poultry plants that have been hotspots for COVID-19. How is the district going to help families connected to those outbreaks?
Well, it's funny you should say. In the morning, I'm going to Berry Street processing plant and tour the plant with some Tyson employees. Now, our hope right there is to try to understand what Tyson has done in order to protect their families, because their families are our kids, right? And so we're going in there, we're trying to learn what they're doing, what protects one another. And we're going to try to really make quality connections with the families. We currently have social workers that are employed by the district, and we're going to make sure those connections are there. And we're also going to make sure that everyone's connected with our nursing staff and our new points of contact with the Department of Health.
We know that parents have a lot of choices when it comes to their children's learning this coming school year. And I know Springdale is offering 3 different choices. Can you kind of run through what those different options are?
Sure, I'll try to do those quickly. Our first option is what we call on-site or face-to-face, to where every child can come to school every day. Within that first option is a blended opportunity. That blended opportunity could be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, or any combination thereof. But we need to make sure that we do that in a personalized way with the parents. Should something happen and the virus decline throughout the year, the parents can turn that off basically, and the kids can come every day. Or should things ramp up and parents need additional time to help them and their student feel more comfortable, then they can do that as well, as long as they communicate with the teacher and with their home zone school. The third option is fully virtual. That option is via DTSOI, the Sir Don Tyson School of Innovation, and it can go from kindergarten through the 12th grade. You can go to our website if you'd like to sign up, if you're a parent who has a child in the district, or you can absolutely just follow the directions on our website today.
How will you be deciding which teachers are working with students through the virtual option? Will you be redistributing the current staff, or will you have to hire more teachers to accommodate the virtual learning?
Some of that is happening, but the teachers themselves are interviewing, they're applying and interviewing. You don't just want to put a teacher over there who might not be comfortable. You want to have someone who is really, really good at delivery through this kind of media. So we're breaking that down and making sure that it's a quality match to have a quality staff member teaching our individuals that are online. So that's happening today. Of course, if there is an overwhelming desire for students to go virtual, we'll have the opportunity to move teachers over that are prepared to have that kind of delivery system.
Sure. And obviously, virtual learning requires technology. So how will you help students with the technology, both in terms of devices and then internet access?
Sure. Internet access is a real push. But right now, we are a one-to-one technology-driven district. So every child will have some piece of technology, whether it's an iPad K2 or whether it's a Chromebook, all the way up through 12th grade. But we're working with apartment complexes. We're working with churches and other types of folks out there who have internet connectivity that we can put what we call our CALs in, which is our Wi-Fi systems that can be housed inside. So anywhere there's a dense population, our students with Chromebooks at their homes can either drive to, walk to, whatever, wherever locations that are partnering with us, and upload and download our information through our Wi-Fi system.
So that'll obviously make sure that as many people as possible in the district can be connected, huh?
Yes, and of course, Ozarks Go, AT&T, Cox, they've all provided opportunities for people who, if they're in poverty, to be able to connect. And we have resources here in our district to help connect those families with those individual businesses, utilities.
Sure. Well, Superintendent, thank you so much for answering those questions. We have a lot more for you. They'll be coming up right after this break. We are joined again by the superintendent of Springdale Schools, Dr. Jared Cleveland. Doctor, we want to ask you, obviously it's not a matter of if, but likely when someone within a school building will get sick when students come back in the fall. Can you tell us what the plan is going to be for the district in terms of calling off class? Will it impact the entire district, building by building, or even just at a local classroom basis?
Well, we're learning what we're going to do to partner with the Department of Health. We understand the Department of Health is going to lead us down that path. Right now, the governor put out today his new rubric on how we'll follow that tree of decisions, if you will. It's a decision tree, and whether it's a moderate risk or a critical risk or even a limited risk. So we're working through that. It was just distributed today. We have a point of contact. Our point of contact is our head nurse, and her name is Dr. Nurse Kathy Lauder, and she is absolutely remarkable. So I fully expect our team of nurses across the state, we have roughly 35, will be really ready to help us distribute information to our staff and our families as it comes along. But yes, if should some positive happen, we'll be able to pivot in the correct way.
So let's also talk about just sanitizing procedures within the buildings. Obviously, it's going to be very important to keep the classrooms clean. What are the plans for cleaning buildings, buses, and athletic facilities within the district?
We'll have hand sanitizers everywhere, classrooms and everything else. We'll also have our sanitizing teams out every day. We'll have additional custodians in the field houses, on school buses. We're going to do the buses every day, 2 or 3 or 4 times a day. We're also going to do every classroom 2 or 3 or 4 times a day. But we're also installing water bottle filling stations as opposed to having water fountains within the school. So that should be very helpful. Also, we'll have disinfecting opportunities for our teachers to use during the school day. So we're working hard to have everything that we need in order for everyone to feel safe all times of the day.
And in terms of feeling safe, I know a lot of people also are talking about the availability of COVID-19 testing. Is that something at the district level that will be provided for students and staff?
Well, it would be really nice if we could do that, but we have such quality community partners. We have the Arkansas Children's Hospital, Northwest Hospital, Washington Regional, and many other clinics out there like Community Clinic who do that testing for free. So hopefully we'll be able to partner with them even at a deeper level for our staff and our children.
To hear. We only have about 30 seconds, but I would love to hear from you if there's anything that you would like to say to all of the families in your district watching right now.
Absolutely. We're just so excited and ready to see our children. They're the heartbeat of a school. Without our children, there's really no need for a school. So we're looking forward to seeing their bright eyes and their beautiful smiles, along with the beautiful smiles of the teachers, because there's nothing like a heart of a teacher who love their children. So we're excited to have them back in return.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing a lot more eyes, but their mouths may be covered, right? Can you show us the mask that you have on?
Yeah, this is what you call a buff, and this is what we plan on providing our children. So they won't have to lose it, and it'll always be there.
Well, thank you, Doctor, for your insight today. We appreciate your time. We'll have a final look at your forecast after the break.